patio on Clematis Street. That's for sure. You're going to want to be in the AC this afternoon. In fact, it's going to be a necessity that you get into the AC with the type of heat that we're looking at, and maybe inside because of the storms that we're watching as well. You can see the solid line basically of lightning that we're watching moving through the Panhandle. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning up for the Panhandle area, the city of Red Bay included in this. This is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts just south of that I-10 corridor. Going to have some heavy rain and tons of lightning with it as well. As we're watching that line of storms move through, we're going to keep that severe threat in the Panhandle, North Florida as well, over to Jacksonville, that I-10 corridor, South Georgia. But you'll notice we can't completely rule out a storm along 95 either, as those sea breeze kicks in this afternoon. Tomorrow, a lower chance of severe weather across the peninsular Florida, but still that chance. Here's what we're looking at. Watch as these storms hang out into your afternoon. Those sea breeze storms start firing later this afternoon, but most of the action today is going to be in North Florida overnight tonight. A couple more storms moving through as we're watching a couple different areas of storminess that are going to be impacting us this weekend for the Sunshine State. But I would bet, because we're used to the storms in Florida, I bet a lot more people are talking about this heat that we have, because these temperatures are not at all what we should be seeing. The forecast high in Key West, 90 degrees. The old record for Key West back in the 1800s, 92. So we'll get very close to that. Just want to show this really quick. Look at this. Feeling like 106, 107, Dr. Postel. That is dangerous heat. We're talking about a heat risk that is up to extreme for portions of South Florida with this type of heat.
Felicia,
we're protecting America as hurricane season quickly approaches. Whether you live on the coast or inland, storm surge is the deadliest part of a hurricane.
Yeah, in 2022, most of Hurricane Ian's deaths in Florida were by drowning, as storm surge as high as 18 feet impacted that area. But even in the strongest hurricanes, loss of life can be prevented. As meteorologist Alex Wilson shows us, the answer is simple, but never easy.
Well, as we look towards the north and parts of the mid-Atlantic and the northeast, we're not dealing with a lot of thunderstorms today, but it's all about the rain. Now, they say April showers bring May flowers, but here we are in May. We've got the flowers, but we still are dealing with a lot of the rain along the 95 corridor, and that includes places like Washington, D.C., waking up with rain this morning and rounds of rain as we go throughout the afternoon, including New York City, a lot of New Jersey, Boston, all the way up through a majority of the state of Maine. Also seeing some rain, Connecticut, as well as portions of southern New York State. You're dealing with the rain throughout today and lingering for a few of us tomorrow morning, but most of us will be drying out for the second half of the weekend, so at least you can salvage some of your outside plans. It's not going to be a lot of rain, in fact, adding up to about an inch of rain widespread. Now, there might be a few spots that pick up a little bit more than that, but as a broad brush, it's not going to be a lot of rain. It's just going to be kind of misty and drizzly throughout the day. But we do have the chance for severe weather as you look farther to the west in portions of the Great Lakes, the UP of Michigan, down through Wisconsin, stretching all the way down to Wichita, Kansas, southern central Kansas. That's where we have our severe threat for today. So let's time this out for you as we see some of the energy build into the afternoon, into the evening hours. We start to see the northern end of this line bubble up and then slowly start to spread to the south. However, this model isn't too confident about forming some storms down towards Wichita, but just know that it's going to be a cloud on the horizon because by this afternoon, it's going to be all about the thunderstorms in Savannah.
Hit or miss storms, temperatures up in the upper 70s. Going to be a great afternoon to just stay in. Some of those storms could be feisty.
But this is classic summertime kind of pattern. We know how to deal with this in Savannah, but you're like, really? We're starting this in May?
I know, it feels really early, right? But then if you're in Tallahassee and Jacksonville, you're looking at Savannah and you're like, listen, we've had enough rounds for like the rest of the summer.
Look at this. Once again, knocking on the door of Tallahassee, we have stronger storms moving in from the Panhandle. But let's start in Georgia, where we do have some severe thunderstorm warnings. And by the way, every warning that we have out there is warned to 60-mile-per-hour winds. So it is all about the wind this morning. Yeah, as we've seen, you really got to pay attention to that. Cities of Albany, Camilla, all included in that until 11:15. You've got the heavy rain, you've got the lightning, and as Molly just mentioned, those damaging wind gusts as well. Let's head down to Bainbridge, Georgia, and then crossing over into the I-10 corridor in Florida. You have a severe thunderstorm warning until 11 a.m. Also, the lightning, big threat this morning as you're trying to go about your Saturday morning plans. Maybe you're just trying to take the dog out real quick. I would do it before this line makes it into your area. Yeah, you're going to be stuck in it for just a little bit. This isn't a clean swipe, so you can see there's some light rain behind that first main line of storminess. So we're going to be in it for a little while, and we've got plenty of energy to work with. So as this line drifts southward,
Tallahassee, you're getting it again. Jacksonville, same thing.
And it's going to continue to move to the east, so areas like Orlando up towards Jacksonville. But by the time we get to later this afternoon, that's when you're going to find those outdoor plans not so ideal anymore.
Yeah, not to mention Atlanta. You see that kind of re-upping of the atmosphere with those storms later on this afternoon. And of course, it feels like we've been talking about storms for weeks and weeks and weeks, and we have, especially for places like Houston.
Absolutely. So power crews are working around the clock to get the AC back on for Houston residents as temperatures and heat indices get dangerously hot.
And now